Hey, this is Rich over at TVP Live with another quick tips brought to you by Adobe Photoshop Elements Independent Tutorials Group. And let's jump right into this one. And this poster here wanted to separate the woman on the left from the woman on the right and basically bring her up a little bit taller because it looks like she's sitting down. But before we do that, I'd like to fix a couple things here because when along this white background that they were cut out, these edges here are just a little bit too sharp. So instead of erasing them, what I'm going to do is grab that same background with the eyedropper tool, and I'm going to make a brush at 10 point. Let me jump right in there close. And I'm going to soften this up just a tad up here where it's really harsh. And I can go boom, hold the shift down, go across. And this is basically going to make this look a little bit softer on the edges and a little more realistic when you either print it out. If you're adding a different background, then I would say don't do this, but it's okay. So that just softened it up a little bit. This side's okay. I can see her hair through it, so we'll just leave it as it is. All right, so basically the old school way is to cut her out on the left and then just bring her up and then stretch the graphics below. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to make a duplicate of this photo, and then I'm going to erase the right side by taking the eraser. I'm going to turn off the background, get the eraser, and let's get a 5 point and get in here close. And you're going to see that I'm simply erasing everywhere where it touches from the left woman to the right woman. And I use a soft brush because the actual picture is not that high resolution. The edges are not going to be really sharp. Some people might want to use this this polygon tool, but it's going to be too harsh and too sharp, and the picture isn't that sharp to begin with, so we're not going to do that. Okay, so now I have her all erased. The next thing I'm going to do is cut her out. So I'm going to now take the polygon tool, and I'll start over here on the bottom left and come across here, and I'm going to basically just cut out in between where I erased. So it's basically cutting her out completely from the rest of the photo. And the reason why I didn't just use this to begin is because it would have been way too sharp on the edges, and that would have made it really obvious. Once we're up here in the white section, it doesn't matter really where it goes. As long as it doesn't overlap over here, we can just kind of go sort of close like this. Come straight across, boom, down to here. I can zoom out a little bit. Maybe I can't yet. Double click. I'm going to zoom out. And you can see the chosen portion is just the woman on the left. I'm going to right click and hit cut. So now I can take the right portion and delete it. And now we have just her. And you can see the edges are nice and soft. And then if I turn on the back layer, which we copied, it brings back the person on the right. So now I'm going to take her here. I'm going to hold shift and hit the up arrow key. I can move it around by hand like this, but I'd rather just keep her in the same position. And I hit the shift and just, oops, wrong layer. Let's grab her and move her up, boom, 4, 5 or so times, 6, and maybe over 1, like that. Okay, so we got a little bit of work to do, not too much, but let's see what we can do with this. So she's a little bit taller. I don't know if you want to make her exactly that tall, but let's bring her right around here. All right, so now what we want to do is first soften up and get rid of the background here, that where it overlaps right here. And this one's pretty simple to do too. I'm going to go to this back layer, you can see, and that's where this extra stuff is. I'm going to grab the smudge tool, and let's make the smudge brush, I don't know, let's try 50 points, see how big that is. That's too big. Let's do 25 point. And basically I'm just going to smudge the white back into behind our foreground photo. And you see how easy that is? Now that I get closer to her shirt here, I'm going to bring this down to 15 point because I want it to be a little bit sharper. I'm going to click here, hold shift, and click again, and it's going to draw a straight line. The smudge brush. I can come down lower. I can do it by hand also. And basically it's kind of mimicking the lines from up here. Boom, boom. I can just kind of do this. And if I want to soften this up so it kind of matches. Okay, and there we go. We softened all that up and matched it all. And clean it up a little bit. And that's how to push that back in here. Now let's go below, because someone else also did this and they just cropped it off right there, losing a lot of this right stuff here. So instead of doing that, I'd like to split the difference between what's there and what we do is grab a big brush. Let's go back to 25 point. Actually, let's go ahead and go to 50 point. See how big that brush is. And I'm just going to, oops, wrong layer. I'm going to undo, go back to the top layer here. And I'm going to simply click there, hold the shift, and then click again, and it just extends what's already there. So I just smudge it down, use the smudge brush. See that? And it kind of just merges what's already there. Now around here, I can get in a little bit closer and go back to a 25 point brush. And right here, I'll smudge this like that. I'm going to grab the bottom layer and smudge some of these back up a little bit. I'm sorry, top layer. And smudge it so that it continues over from this line over to here. It doesn't have to be perfect. No one's going to notice. And now go down to the bottom layer and smudge that up. And basically it's just kind of matching the two so that you don't see the lines anymore. If you want to see what we did, I can turn off the top layer, turn off the bottom layer, sorry, and you can see the smudges that we did to make everything match. So now all we have to do is just maybe soften this one too a little bit. Hold on, let me make sure which layer I'm working on. The bottom layer. I'll lose this so it doesn't look like this was copied. You don't want it to look like it was copied. And that's pretty much it. And get rid of this. Do a little bit of fixing here. Soften up some of these. Let's go ahead and fix these smudges on the arm. Grab the the Band-Aid tool. And as long as the circle is, let's go 10 point here. I'm going to go right here on the arm and click. Boom, fix that. Do a little line here, fix that. Boom, fix that. And that fixes blemishes basically anywhere in the photo. So I'm going to take this top layer, zoom back out, and merge it down. And there you go. You got the whole nice picture. They're both almost the same size, and it looks natural and looks real. That's all for this tutorial, and this is Rich calling it quits for now, saying over and out. Bye.